Hello, Gary Champion, psychic medium once again. I was riding along this morning in my car listening to NPR, National Public Radio, and they were talking about climate change and blah blah blah, like they do. And I guess I had a spirit in the car with me that said it's really too late to do anything about that. We're on a roller coaster that's mostly going down. I thought, should I tell anybody? Or do I think they probably already know? No. People think that engineering, computers, whatever, will save us. Scientists will save us. It's really too late for that. They're saying it now. When did we know about climate change? First century. Look it up. They noticed, Romans noticed if you cleared the trees in an area, it got hotter. Did they stop chopping trees down? No. Deforestation. That's what's going on. We've got to build more houses for these people. And I'm not talking about temporary global warming. Temporary global warming is a different animal. It's a lot of you won't remember this, but there were El Nino. Remember, the water got hot and changed climate. It got dramatically warmer. Winters didn't exist really, and that was because of underwater volcanoes. Yeah, underwater volcanoes that are still active. A whole bunch of them stirred up over there on the west coast, and the water got hot, and water next to land. The land didn't cool down, and there wasn't any snow or anything for a while, a few years. That's temporary global change. Mount St Helens. I don't know. You can look all this stuff up. This is history. Blew 3 miles of the top of a mountain into the sky, and that ash blocked the sun. Probably something that happened similar to the dinosaurs, except in a smaller example. Didn't last but a year or two, maybe. Anyway, the ash was in the air so heavy you could see it, and it blocked the sun from warming the earth, so everything cooled down. Just the opposite effect. So these are temporary changes, and not global. Not global, I don't think. First century, though, they knew about it. People have been talking about it as long as I've been alive. California people had new emission controls in the 70s because they were concerned. Yeah, they were concerned. They couldn't see air. Air was brown. So they decided to do something about it. So they had these special emission things for all cars sold in California, which the Republicans voted out. So now you can drive your car and just spew crap in the air in California now. Fortunately, most Californians, the auto companies agreed to keep that intact. But not for, it's because they're set up to do it now. They want to tear that down and put something else in, then it's more tooling. Matter of money. Interesting stuff, isn't it? History. I believe it's too late. I believe we've been going down this thing for 20 centuries, and the odds are that we're going to wake up and change are getting smaller every day. And I took a little time off here to meditate, doing my self-healing, which is still working. Happy with it. And I started hearing a song, and with me and songs, they're always important for a video. And this is a great song from 1970, I believe, from the Temptations. A great multi-talented group that really were just the Temps and the Tops and the Supremes They were all, I think they were Barry Gordy's groups out of Detroit, but I could be wrong. Doesn't matter. It was called Ball of Confusion. I thought, boy, that's what we've got here. That's what we've got here. Should we keep paying people monthly not to work? Will they not go back to work if we stop? I mean, if we stop paying them, will they go back to work? Should we reinstate this housing thing where people can't be evicted? A lot of people are just squatting in property. They don't have any money. What money they do get, they're not paying the rent with it. There's a moratorium on that, so they're spending it on other things. If we end that, what's going to happen is jobs are not going to come along quick enough to save people. The hard-working, everyday guy, a lot of them are going to lose their homes and their apartments and whatever. The street's going to be full of them. And I predicted this last year. This isn't a new thing for me. But the moratorium on rent has ended, or will end today or tomorrow or something. And they're railing against the Democrats for not voting it in. Well, they can't vote anything without the Republicans, and they're not going to vote that in. So don't yell at the Democrats. It's not a conspiracy. Ball of Confusion lives in our... I was going to call these guys country leaders, but they're not. These people don't lead anybody. They'll lead us into the poorhouse if you let them. During the Depression, people couldn't pay their rent. They were thrown out on the street. The world became transient, which it will again. We're already seeing it. People are moving here, people are moving there where the jobs are, and they're driving housing up. So housing in Texas is very expensive now. It used to be it used to be kind of cheap. You could move here and get a place, and there's so many people are moving here. And a lot of them are with money. They're avoiding taxes or something in California, moving here and overpaying for houses. And they've driven the price of houses up where a guy who lives here can't afford one anymore. I remember that happened in Santa Fe. A nice little artistic community there. When I was young, I'd go there, and then people from California, actors, artists, moved there. And then the indigenous people, they had to sell out because they couldn't pay the taxes on the property. It was driven up by high prices that these people were willing to pay to get something that they didn't deserve. Anyway, ball of confusion. People moving out, people moving in. Why? Because of the color of their skin. Run, 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 but you just can't hide. That's white flight from large cities. White people were moving out and black people stayed. Run, 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 but you can't hide, and that's always been true. Temporarily. An eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, vote for me and I'll set you free. Rap on, brother, rap on. Politicians promising crap that they cannot deliver. We've just seen that. They all do it. I mean, they all say, we'll give you... There was a politician a long time ago said, blah, 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 and a chicken in every pot. I don't know who that guy was during the Depression. I think he got elected, and then come nothing. Not enough chickens to go around, I guess. Well, the only person talking about loving thy brother is the preacher, and it seems nobody's interested in learning but the teacher. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? We have that going on right now. Students don't want to go back to school. They've been out for a year. They've been online. They've been goofing off. Segregation, demonstration, integration, determination, aggravation, humiliation, obligation to our nation. That's about being in the military. For those of you who are young, used to have to spend 2 years. Everybody in this country spent 2 years in the Army. Ball of confusion. That's what the world is today. Hey, the sale of pills is at an all-time high. Boy, if they only knew. They're probably 2,000% higher now than they were then, but they were high then. Sale of pills is at an all-time high. Young folks walk with their heads in the sky. The city's aflame in the summertime, and oh, the beat goes on. I thought the name of the song was The Beat Goes On because we used to sing it as it come on the radio, what words we could understand. And this is about race riots in the summer. It gets awfully hot. That's what it's talking about. Evolution, revolution, gun control, sound of souls shooting rockets to the moon, kids growing up too soon. Politicians say more taxes will solve everything. The band played on. So round and round and around we go. Where's the world headed? Nobody knows. Well, I do know, but a lot of it I'm not going to talk about. Oh, great Googa Mooga. Can't you hear me talking to you? Just a ball of confusion. That's what the world is today. I suspect that the world's always been a ball of confusion. That people contending for power and money and things all create confusion. And one of my favorite sayings is, in confusion there's profit. So people often create confusion, then they grab the loot and run out the door. Turn the light out, grab the loot, and run out the back door. Fear in the air, tension everywhere. It's 1970. Fear in the air, tension everywhere. Unemployment rising fast. Well, yeah. This moratorium on housing. The guy can't get a job. How's he going to pay his rent? The Beatles' new records of gas. I think that was Abbey Road, 1970. And it was a gas. Great tune. And the only safe place to live is on an Indian reservation. The band played on. I don't think Indian people are Americans. The original Americans would think that it's safe on a reservation. This is just perception. I have destruction, tech deduction, city inspectors, bill collectors, and mod clothes in demand. That was a time when, if you remember the Temptations, everybody was wearing really nice suits. Population out of hand, suicide, too many bills. Suicide is like, it's like number 1, 2, or 3 in deaths and suicide. It's a horrible thing when you can't feed your family or pay the rent. Drives people to do desperate things. Hippies moving to the hills. Well, that was the commune time when kids dropped out of college and formed communes out in the middle of nowhere, bought land and plowed it and planted seed, and it all came to nothing. They weren't farmers. People all over the world are shouting, "In the war," and the band played on. Well, the war was ended, but it was 1975, I believe. We pulled out of Vietnam. But we're pulling out of Afghanistan. So many parallels here. 20 years we've been in Afghanistan and done what? Nothing. Why? Because they're at war with themselves. You can't help people who are at war with themselves. And the band played on. Can't you hear me talking to you? Just a ball of confusion. Ooh, what a powerful song. I remember that played on and on and on the radio. And we were understanding it. But again, you without any power, how can you fight something like that? You're aware of it. I was in college and I saw people coming back from the war knowing that my time was coming next in wheelchairs. Lots of them. And they got on the GI Bill and got into college and got degrees doing something, but they protested everything there was to protest. But the war did end. Why? Because people marched in the street, millions of them, and they just said, we can't win this. Let's get out. We're proving a point that nobody wants us to prove. Anyway, I thought you might like the song, Ball of Confusion, Temptations. Ooh, what a power group that was. You can't say Temptations without saying the Four Tops, or the Supremes, all in the kind of the same word. Martha and the Vandellas. Ooh, a great group. What was, just so many of them. Ronnie and the Ronettes. I don't know if you remember them. big #1 hits. Wall of Sound, produced by that crazy guy that's now in jail for killing a woman. Ball of Confusion. August the 8th, coming up in 7 days. I have a class available on my website at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, United States of America. August the 8th, 2 o'clock. Change your programming, change your life. If you actually do understand what I'm saying, that most of us are running under somebody else's program. You're living a life because that's your indoctrination. That's your program that's running it. Somebody else's. It's your parents or your friends or somebody. You're living your life in a program that's not yours. There's a way to change it, because I changed mine. So the class was written for you. I hope you enjoy it. August the 8th, 2 o'clock. August the 15th, we have our free healing night on the YouTube channel, Gary Champion Psychic Medium. You just have to subscribe and log in and be in the chat room, and we pick someone, usually the person that needs whatever it is the most. And all the healers are in the chat room. We have a lot of them, and I join in on that. Recently discovered that I was a healer this last year, which is why I started it. And all these great healers that join us are really, really good, really, really powerful. And we all join our energy together and send it to someone. That's free. August 22nd, free readings. I'll do short little readings, same place, Gary Champion Psychic Medium YouTube site, 2 o'clock Sunday, Central Standard Time, USA. I'm so silly. I was going to tell you what time it is now. It's almost 4 o'clock. Yeah, but you have no reference to that. They're all at 2 o'clock p.m. United States Central Standard Time. So if you're from a foreign country, and I hate that, there should be no foreign countries. We should be united. We should be sharing. Shouldn't be any foreign. And that gets me into aliens. Oh, I had an alien stop by the other day. You know, I've done some videos about aliens. And this guy came by, and I thought, okay, well, I'll let him jump in front of the camera and give you a quick look. I ran into him at the mall. He stood out because he had an orange, kind of a red vest on, and big ears. He sort of looks like Peanut. My wife and Peanut the Wonder Dog have a new Etsy site called Bunny's Peanut Gallery. It's all one word. People have said put a space in there, but it doesn't work like that. It's Bunny's, BUNYS Peanut Gallery. We've got a variety of things on there we've made in our own little garage. August the 29th is another self-healing class. I don't know how long I'm going to give these. When people stop enrolling, I'll stop doing them. August 29th, self-healing class. Learn how to heal yourself using the method that I came up with because it works for me. 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, USA, August the 29th. Register for it on my website, on the classes page. It'll say classes at the top. September 12th is a brand new class, because I don't have enough classes. I've got to think of something new. Actually, I was sitting here meditating. I mean, this right here is just this, the air is electric with spirits. You know, I say, come on, guys, give me something. And they said fantasy meditation. I thought, well, that's a funny name for a meditation. And I showed it to my wife. She hasn't seen the script. It's written out. But she said, that's not a good name for a meditation. I said, no, it came from the other side. They're never wrong, so I'm going to stick with it. If you're interested in a fantasy meditation, you can do over and over again. If you take the class, I'll give you a copy of it. And it's wonderful. Works for me. Anyway, September 12th. Fantasy meditation. If you're a head case, you live on fantasy. I think most of us do. We look out and fantasize about all kinds of things. Oh man, some guy singing a song. I don't know if you remember this girl. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. That's the only thing that there's too little of. Something like that. But that's what they're singing. Isn't it wonderful to be a medium and hear these things all day long? Part of the positivism, if that's even a word, I'm not sure it is, of life is that I hear things that are otherworldly, that are intended to help me evolve into something else, better able to help people. Wouldn't it be wonderful? Maybe if we love these people that aren't getting, it's also kind of too late to do anything about vaccinations. I was going to throw that in, forgot about it. I got to forget about that. That we've come down this trip. People are dying, and then they're saying, oh, I wish I'd have got the shot. I wish I'd have got my husband the shot. I wish I'd have got the shot. That way I wouldn't have got it and given it to my husband. It's too late. It's too late for you. Beat the band, someone's saying. Yeah. But we've kind of gone down this trip. And now vaccine is going wasted because it has a lot of shelf life. We've created a vaccine thinking millions of people would want it. And millions did want it. But here's a story. You like my stories. Come on, say you do. I was in a doctor's office the other day, routine stuff. There's a woman, and she said, why have you got your mask on? Why have you got a mask on? And I looked at my wife, she looked at me. How can you explain that? What came right out of me in like a second was, because you don't know where I've been. You don't know where I've been. If I have something horrible, I could give it to you. Then I would feel forever bad. I've had the injections, I don't worry about it, blah, 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 I'm a big strong woman, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, then she, sort of in the middle of things, she reached around and put a mask on. She started thinking, this guy could have something, could have the new variant. And there's several more coming, by the way. Only time will tell how good we do with them. But I don't hold out any more faith than what we have now. You can't tell me what to do. No, you can be dead and somebody else living in your house, probably married to your wife or your husband, having a great old time because they got the shot and wore a mask. Good luck with that. Don't call me. I've been trying to get people to take the shot. But a doctor, DR, period, blah, blah, blah. Why are you wearing a mask? Here in Texas, we don't have to wear a mask. We not implying that, and I'm not stupid. I said, you don't, because I'm with you. You don't know where I've been. I could have it. I could be giving it to you. And because you've had it, don't think you can't get it again, because you can. You ask people, and every fifth or 10th one, they'll say, I've had it twice. There are variations out there. You get the Delta, you might have had the original one. Now you get the Delta because you didn't wear a mask. I don't need that. People in Florida, people in Texas. Let's go out and we'll have a party. We'll have a barbecue. And 40% of them are hospitalized. Hospitals are full. There's no place for you now. You missed your chance. Should have taken the shot. Anyway, I'm just blathering on, but Ball of Confusion, what a great gift. I could pass that on. Ball of Confusion. That the times in 1970 and the times, this is 2021, are so similar. It's hard to believe. Nothing changes. You think we'd get brighter. Genetic engineering or something. And I do believe today's kids are bright, extremely bright, scary bright, that they know so much. But yet they've been brainwashed. They're running under somebody else's program. You don't need that. You won't get it. It's a fake. It's not real. And that's what this woman said. Who told her that? You buy their spiel, you buy their programming. Pretty soon you start talking like them. There's a great Andy Griffith show that I really like, where Ellie, the drugstore lady, decides to run for city council, and she's running against Howard Sprague, I don't know what he does, city, whatever. And Andy said, "We don't need women telling us what to do, running for city road. This is a man's job. We don't need this." And he's sitting there one day, and his son parrots him, says exactly the same thing. And he says, "I'm going to stop saying that. I'm going to endorse Ellie for city council because if you don't see the value in women, you've cut down your choices for marriage to nothing. You might marry a woman, but you won't keep her. You have to value them." So he put his vote behind Ellie, and I don't know, I think she backed out because she didn't want to create any more controversy in the city, which is a writer's dream. He made these people happy, and he made these people happy. But we're parroting what we hear. As a child, you're being programmed by everything that comes in, and it becomes your philosophy, even though it's not somebody else's. August the 8th, 2 o'clock, Central Standard Time. Change your programming, change your life. Isn't that strange? I came around in a circle, totally unprepared. I mean, I didn't, there's no script here. I have these notes about the classes. That's all I've got. Off the top of my head, maybe I should be a public speaker. Whew. It's easy to talk about stuff. It's hard to do stuff. It's hard to convince people of the viability of a drug well, the FDA hasn't approved it, so I don't think I'm going to take it. All these excuses. Yeah, but the FDA said they could make as many as they wanted and shoot into people's arms, so they must believe it works pretty good. And right now, the FDA is actually looking at approving it, an emergency approval to get these people, because that excuse is time worn. It's outdated. So they're probably going to approve it, and probably be 4 people get the shot because they say, "Oh, the FDA says it's okay." They're just using that as a dodge. Life's full of dodges. If you look around, you can always find a dodge to get out of something. Thanks for joining me. I know it's an extremely long video, 28 minutes and 5 seconds, but it just kept rolling. I couldn't stop myself. My voice is going. No fear, no regret, no anger, and may the wind always be at your back. Thanks for watching.